The juice is loose.
So, Catherine, this is a project we've been teased with for like decades now. A lot of us, the big fans, never thought it was going to happen. Was it something was it something you hoped you would get a chance to do again, reprise this character?
I would hear about, the possibility of a sequel or another Beetlejuice movie, and I think, what? Am I not hearing about it? Is it happening? I think my main reaction was, please don't do it without me. Yeah, let me know if it's happening.
I think the fans would have revolted if that had happened. Jenna, was it easy to kind of fit into this sort of family reunion? And, working with Tim on Wednesday, did that make the transition a little smoother?
The working on Wednesday definitely helped. I would never say that it's easy because there's a lot of pressure, and I know, Lydia is such a beloved character that to even be related to her is a challenge within itself just because of all that she carries with her. Because Wednesday was such a long shoot, we were shooting in Romania for 8 months, I felt like Tim and I had really developed a rapport and just kind of like a work relationship that was really efficient, and we just so happen to have similar sense of humor and a lot of the same taste on things. So I think that, every day I showed up and I was like, oh my God, I'm here with all of these people from the original, I don't know what I'm doing, what am I doing here, existential crisis mode. It did help to, see a familiar face and know that, okay, at least I can have like an honest conversation and not be judged, and if anything, just be encouraged and collaborative with.
You were so cool. She was so cool on the set.
She's very nice. She's a very nice woman.
She was nervous.
She's a very nice woman.
I was talking to Tim the other day, and he said, when he first saw Michael back in the makeup and everything, it was like he was transported back to 1987. Yeah. I wonder if the same thing for you, seeing him and yourself back in like the Delia makeup and stuff.
It was more fun seeing him. Just because, it's 36 years later. Also, I don't like to be obsessed with age, but, I've got a natural face, so I've naturally aged in those 36 years. Yeah, it felt a little scary to, you play different characters, and that's a new thing, that's a new face, and you don't take it so personally. But when it's like, it's almost like, it's so exposed to have played that character that long ago, to play the same character now, and to, embrace the difference in time and the aging. And it is beautiful, and I'm grateful to be alive and grateful to be on this movie and work with everyone and meet Jenna and work with Jenna. And then to see Michael's face up, though, is just so, because he did not age. He's always been dead.
That's right.
It's not fair.
Beetlejuice has not missed a beat.
Yeah. No, it's just so great. And, between takes, he's just himself. I mean, as soon as you roll, he's deeply into Beetlejuice. Wow, it took him like a millisecond to get back into it. Solidly there. But between takes, he's Michael, so he's got that face and says, isn't this great? We're here. Ooh, do you believe it? We're doing the movie. Isn't that great?
Great, guys.
Recognize this post. Never seen that chick before in my life. Or afterlife.
Monica, so there's a sequence, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a sequence in this movie, black and white sequence, that I think will delight a lot of fans of those types of movies, especially the older Italian horror movies. I want to know what it was like making that, and then seeing how it turned out.
Oh, it was so funny, of course, and in this film there are many references to Italian cinema, to Mario Bava, and also there is a moment where Beetlejuice speaks in Italian, and there is also an aria of Maria Callas. Maria Callas, of course, she was Greek. She was born in New York, but at the same time she became a huge star in Italy. So we really can feel that Tim loves Italian cinema, is inspired by Italian directors. And also Danny DeVito is in the movie, and we have a moment together that is so strong because he's the one who wakes up Dolores from death. And I have to say that when Tim told me there is a key role in this film for which I thought about you, I was very happy to accept it and to play it.
It's a different kind of role. Have you ever played a role quite like this before?
No, of course not. And also I haven't done many body characters. And Dolores, to me, more than a monster, she's a creature, and to me, she has this duality because she's dangerous, but also funny, and to me, she's a metaphor of life because we all have emotional scars and just full of scars, but she's coming back, she's strong, she's looking for vengeance. And there's this moment where she puts herself together where, it took 2-3 days to film it, and I had to learn an entire choreography, and I tried to act like a mime, like really a broken doll. And this role is very much about body language, and it was so much fun.
I saw outside that there's a Dolores toy, which I'm wondering, what's it like when you see yourself in toy form? Has that ever happened before?
But it's funny, I think she's an incredible Halloween character at the same time. And, I really enjoyed making this movie, and I was really helped because I had 3 hours of makeup every day, and to get into these beautiful sets, to wear those amazing costumes of Colleen Atwood. And also, Tim loves to draw, so there are always drawings of situations and characters, and to get into these sets because, he likes practical effects instead of CGI, and this is very helpful for actors.
Great, thank you so much.
Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
So it feels like Rory, gives you a chance to kind of cover the entire spectrum of emotions. It's a really ideal comedic character to play.
Yeah.
Can you talk about hitting all those crazy notes throughout?
It was a lot of conversations with Tim, just talking about what would be funny, of course, but wanting to really sort of ground it in to make the relationship seem real. I know it's such an absurd character and it's such an absurd relationship, but we really wanted it to feel like, so we sort of struck on a bunch of things, like that he's emotional, that he is sort of quick to tears, obviously a complete narcissist, that the relationship is toxic, that he is sort of a gaslighter with Lydia, and he has sort of that ability to, while caregiving to Lydia, sort of play the victim as well. He's he's just sort of a hodgepodge of really fun, and he's not very bright, so we sort of swirled that all together in a pot and then thought, oh, that'll make us laugh. That made us laugh anyway.
And you get to belt out some real good screams a few times.
Oh yeah,
Did you practice your scream voice?
No, I did not. I would just save it until I had to do it and then just do it.
Well, you mentioned collaborating with Tim. How big does he kind of let you go? How much is it like, his ideas first and then the screenplay, of course, and then how much are you allowed to do your interpretation?
He does what I think all smart directors do, is once he has assembled a team that he's happy with, and I'm talking about not just actors, but prop makers and set designers and costume designers and hair and makeup people, he really not only encourages but lets them to sort of just crank the volume up on their specific area of talent, and sort of go nuts, and that was like writ large all across the set and this film. Everyone is bringing their A game.
Yeah, and obviously there's an emphasis on the practical effects and sets and everything. And how much does that aid you as an actor? Does it help to be in the midst of
it does 100% of the work for you, because the minute I walk on or any of us walked onto those sets and saw the level of specificity in our clothing, in our makeup, the minute I had that stupid wig with the ponytail, you're kind of like, you're already 98% there. As long as you've remembered your lines and can service them, you're in good shape.
Lydia Dietz is an iconic character. I don't know how much Beetlejuice meant to you.
Ton, yeah.
But for a generation of guys, it's like Lydia Dietz. So it must have been pretty cool acting opposite her.
Yeah, Winona. I've known Winona for a while, and so to do this with her was a real hoot. Like, it was a real gas. Like, it's so interesting because when I saw that movie, I mean, I think everyone who was, we're roughly the same age, me and Winona, and when I saw the movie, obviously, I was not an actor, but I had such a crush on her. But more importantly, I think I had a real identification with her as like just sort of an angsty teenager, know, and I was like, I feel similarly to that person, and that somehow was represented on screen. Obviously, I think Jenna, who's sort of the heart of this one, brings that exact same pathos to her character as well.
And what's it like when you see Michael in the full costume, full makeup? I mean,
For 36 years, I've been having to watch terrible versions of Beetlejuice at Halloween parties, in the Halloween aisle, at the Halloween store. So to finally see it done properly again and have it be Michael actual fucking Keaton was pretty special.
And then finally, without spoiling anything, is there a sequence in the movie that was, especially cool for you to film, or that you think the audience will really get a kick out of?
I wasn't in it, but the ending of the film I found particularly poignant. And then there's a whole section that's in Italian, and that section, that's something that like you go like, who does that? That's so great. And it was even like sort of dubbed in that weird Italian kind of 1960s Fellini-esque, Those were the things where I was like, oh my God, forget like, obviously the wonderful actors we have. This is a really, really good piece of filmmaking. Like just step back and like let that film exist because it's so good. It's just so well made. Yeah. It's like a really well made, beautiful piece of art or furniture or something. It's just great. Yeah. So that Italian section particularly just really tickled me.
I hope it keys some kids into like look into Mario Bava movies.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
All right,
Have
I
a great
appreciate
one.
it.